I climbed back up to our camp. No one was awake. The ships had passed them in their sleep. I said nothing to them of what I had seen. We went down to the salt pans and dug up enough of the muddy gray stuff to make salt for the year's use, loaded it in the donkeys' baskets, and set off home. I didn't let them linger, and they complained and dawdled a little, but we were home well before noon. I went to the king and said, "A great fleet of warships went up the river at dawn, father." He looked at me. His face was sad. "So soon," was all he said. I know who I was. I can tell you who I may have been. But I am now. Only in this line of words I write. I'm not sure of the nature of my existence, and wonder to find myself writing. I speak Latin, of course, but did I ever learn to write it? That seems unlikely. No doubt someone with my name, Lavinia, did exist, but she may have been so different from my own idea of myself, or my poet's idea of me, that it only confuses me to think about her. As far as I know, it was my poet who gave me any reality at all. Before he wrote, I was the mistiest of figures, scarcely more than a name in a genealogy. It was he who brought me to life, to myself, and so made me able to remember my life and myself, which I do, vividly, with all kinds of emotions I feel strongly as I write. Perhaps because the events I remember only come to exist as I write them, or as he wrote them. But he didn't write them. He slighted my life in his poem. He scanted me, because he only came to know who I was when he was dying. He's not to blame. It was too late for him to make amends, rethink, complete the half-lines, perfect the poem he thought imperfect. He grieved for that, I know. He grieved for me. Perhaps where he is now, down there across the dark rivers, somebody will tell him that Lavinia grieves for him. I won't die. Of that, I am all but certain. My life is too contingent to lead to anything so absolute as death. I have not enough real mortality. No doubt I will eventually fade away and be lost in oblivion, as I would have done long ago if the poet hadn't summoned me into existence. Perhaps I will become a false dream, clinging like a bat to the underside of the leaves of the tree at the gate of the underworld, or an owl flitting in the dark oaks of Albunea. But I won't have to tear myself from life and go down into the dark, as he did, poor man, first in his imagination, and then as his own ghost. We each have to endure our own afterlife, he said to me once. Or that is one way to understand what he said. But that dim loitering about, down in the underworld, waiting to be forgotten or reborn, that isn't true being. Not even half true, as my being is as I write and you read it, and nowhere near as true as in his words, the splendid, vivid words I've lived in for centuries. And yet my part of them, the life he gave me in his poem, is so dull, except for the one moment when my hair catches fire. So colorless, except when my maiden cheeks blush like ivory stained with crimson dye. So conventional, I can't bear it any longer. If I must go on existing century after century, then once at least I must break out and speak. He didn't let me say a word. I have to take the word from him. He gave me a long life, but a small one.